Welcome back to Redneck Rantings. It is still Sunday, April the 7th, 2019. Doing a couple of videos tonight. I'm going to upload this second one probably after I get off work on Monday evening. I want to talk about Lauren Miranda. For those of you who don't know, she is a middle school teacher who is currently suing her former employers because they fired her because she took a topless selfie, sent it to another teacher who was also an adult that she was in a relationship with. He passed the photo around. It wound up coming into the possession of a underage individual, and she is the one catching heat for it on the grounds that she allowed, or in the wording of the article on dailywire.com, otherwise caused to be made available in a, quote, inappropriate image of herself, and now she's no longer a role model. Now, this is a screwed up situation on a couple of levels, all right? First off, this woman was, by all accounts, an exemplary teacher. She's gotten glowing reviews. She was up for a promotion before this incident went down. This isn't a case of, somebody being a dumpster fire at their job and they're kind of looking for an excuse for them to be able to get rid of her. No, this is a person who had a glowing future, and all of a sudden she's getting the shaft. She's getting the shaft by the system. How is it that how precisely is she getting the shaft? Well, first off, they are blaming her for this teenage kid getting a topless picture of her. Now, let me be clear. I'm not one of these hypocrites who has a different value system for a male teacher engaging in sexually explicit or sexually suggestive activity with a female student versus when it's a female teacher doing so with a male student. Okay, I don't buy into that whole cuckoo, Mrs. Robinson bullshit. If Lauren Miranda, if she had actually sent a topless photo of herself directly to an underage individual, then she should have rightly been charged with a criminal offense and lost her job. Instead, what happened was she, as an adult, sent a photograph of herself to another adult that she was in a mutually consenting relationship with, and that other adult, having taken possession of this photograph, passed it around and it wound up in the hands of this kid. But she's getting blamed for it, when in reality the person who lost control of the media was the teacher that she sent it to. All right? First off, what are you doing sending topless photos that your girlfriend sent you to other people? You should be keeping that shit under lock and key. If you're a man, if you're a decent human being, if you're anything other than a lecherous grease bomb scumbag, you should not be showing that shit to your best friend. Like a lot of guys, I've been in relationships with girls, and they have sent me nude and semi-nude photographs, and I didn't show them to anybody. I took a look at them on my phone or on my computer and went, wow, that's really lovely. I'm a lucky guy to be with that. And I kept it to my damn self. I didn't even tell my friends that I got these nudes, because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be respectful of the individual sending you these intimate photographs, not doing what this cretin did. The other thing is that they are saying that what she did was inappropriate because she was topless and her nipples are showing, and that makes her no longer a role model, when it was a private individual back and forth message. If you want to go back to days of yore, basically like if she had taken a topless hard copy photograph of herself, say a Polaroid, if that doesn't date me, I don't know what does, put it in an envelope and snail mailed it to this guy, and then he passed that around, okay? We're talking private individual back and forth communication and that makes her an inappropriate individual and no longer a role model. Meanwhile, other male colleagues on their social media have topless pictures of themselves that anybody can access with a relatively limited amount of search foo. Oh, hey, Mr. Johnson in physics probably is on Facebook. Let's see what he does in his spare time. Click, click, click. Oh, hey, look, there's a picture of him at the lake holding a fish, and he's got no shirt on. Mr. Johnson in physics doesn't lose his job. He doesn't get told that he's no longer a role model and this is inappropriate or somehow lewd. And I'm not trying to be woke and pretend like I'm some new male feminist. I'm not. Frankly, I'm from the 70s. I'm a little bit of a Neanderthal by today's standards. I don't pretend to be anything other than I'm not. But this gets down to fair play. All right? If it is grounds for termination to engage in private back and forth discourse of a particular nature with somebody, then it should be grounds for that same mode of expression, whether it's certain words or certain photographs, certain types of photographs, to be publicly accessible to the general populace, okay? But that's not what's happening. They're saying that because she's a woman and because her breasts are somehow dirty, that makes her the bad person. Well, you shouldn't have taken this picture in the first place. No. If you're saying that a person should not take a topless photograph if they're a teacher, then you have to apply that across the board. That is how we do things in a fair and civilized society. I realize that there are countries in this world where it's a double standard, one set of rules for the men, one set of rules for women. Not here in the United States where this went down. That is not equality under the law, which is what we are supposed to be about. Personally, I hope she wins. I hope that she sues the absolute dog's breakfast out of her former employers, because at this point, all people are seeing is, oh my God, a female teacher took a nude selfie and it wound up in the hands of an underage kid. Well, you know what a lot of people are thinking when they read that headline? They're thinking, this twisted predatory bitch is trying to creep on an underage kid. It's ruined her professionally. It hasn't made her famous. It's made her infamous. It's ruined her professional prospects. She's 25 years old. She has got decades of earning that she still has to do. Decades of bills to pay and a pension to worry about. And she worked her ass off to get her teaching certificate. And by all accounts, she was terrific at her job. We have a teaching shortage in this country, and these morons on the district, these puritanical dimwits, are saying no because you took a topless picture of yourself and sent it to your boyfriend in private, and then that idiot went and passed it around like some snickering 14-year-old twit. We're going to run you out of the business. We're going to run you out of the profession. No, that isn't what you're supposed to do. I hope she sues the district. I hope she takes them for 6 figures. And quite frankly, I hope she goes after her boyfriend and puts him through the ringer too. Because if he had done what he should have done as a man and kept that photograph purely to himself and not even told people that he received this, let alone passed it around and said, hey, look, I got a picture of boobies. If he had done that, if he had behaved as an adult, this never would have happened. We never would have known about this woman, except maybe one day she won Teacher of the Year award, which by all accounts, she should have been on track for. And now, if this doesn't get sorted out, she's going to be lucky to get a job at Payless Shoes. All right? So, that's the end of the rant. We need to stop this bullshit double standard of women's bodies are dirty, and yet the same exact imagery of a man somehow isn't, okay? If it's sexual for a woman to show her chest, then by definition it should be sexual for a man to show his chest, because I guarantee you talk to any woman out there, they will tell you that they look at guys' chests. They look at these male strippers. They look at these athletes. They look at these guys in the gym. They look at anybody, anywhere who is male, and whether he's wearing a shirt or not, they're scoping out his pectoral region. It's just how we're wired as animals. In men, we're looking at breasts because, well, we like breasts. In women, it's to check our, it's basically checking out our virility and seeing how strong we are. And it gets back to that whole provider warrior thing where it's like they're looking for somebody who is strong enough to be a good provider and a good protector of the young, okay? And if it's sexually explicit for a woman to show her breasts, it should be sexually explicit for a man to show his pectoral muscles and his upper body without a shirt on. And folks, I got to tell you, I'm in pretty decent shape for 47 years old. I've seen edited versions of this picture where her nipples were covered up. Trust me, what I've got under this shirt is a hell of a lot more obscene to look at than what she is. At least what she's got is aesthetically pleasing. That's a work of art. Me, kind of a car crash, quite frankly. All right. Sorry, I kind of went off on a tangent. I did another one of these extended rant out things. But we need to stop this hypocritical nonsense. It's just skin, people. And as long as you are not sending it directly to a child, we need to stop losing our fucking minds over this nonsense. And if we are going to come after somebody for the fact that a kid got exposed to this, if we're going to put our foot down and say, no, it's dirty and a kid shouldn't be looking at it, then we need to put our foot down just as hard when it's a man showing off on Facebook or Instagram, his day, his day at the gym or his day at the lake or his team having won at a sporting event when he was playing, and he's there all sweaty and topless, and some kid can click on that and see that. We need to stop this double standard of behavior, and that's it. Rant over. Like, share, subscribe. Ring the notification bell. Let me know if there's anything you'd like me to go off about. I'll see you next time. Peace out. Bye-bye.